Hey everybody, give me a minute here I was watching ATC do his thing, and boy, what a neat, first time I've gotten in on one of his lives, so what a neat program that was. But that means I haven't got my chat windows opened up here, so I just gotta quick pop over to my channel, click on live, click on, there I am, it says quick mail call. And we'll mute the echo away. Dorothy, how you doing? Mandy, Jason, how's it going, guys? Let me get this chat popped out where I can really see it. Whoop, 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 whoop. Over there, there we go. Oh, John R., what's going on, buddy? Jason Miner, Dorothy, Mandy, I think I got it all now. All right, let's make that a little bit bigger because I don't have my glasses on. Okay. And then let's see, this I want to put, let's just throw that there for now. I got 3 monitors and nothing's in the right spots right now, so we'll get everything back the way it frickin' belongs. All right, there we go. Let me see, can I make myself bigger? Yeah, other than I am way the heck up there. That's a little better. I got my red jammies, my green shirt, my blue hat. I am color coordinated, all the colors. Um, Mark Miller, how's it going, buddy? Uh, it's been a while. It seems like a while. I mean, I was on Monday night with Red Dirt, but I was just kind of going through the motions on that. I got home, got out of the car, sat down for a half hour, came up here, cleared off the studio, got in, and we had a great live with Kayla. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but it was a very good live. Kayla's always a fun person to have. There's a little speck on my screen. It looked like it was in my nose. Nope, nothing in my nose. Um, I got I get sinus headaches all the time, and usually it's just some smelly shit gets my nose running, gets me a headache. In the last couple days, it's been a little different. The the mucus has been a little thicker, and the headaches have been a little harder. And it feels like someone drilled a hole right here and then just kind of like pounded a peg in there. I got some pain. My eyes got pressure on it, but I'm doing it. I'm better than yesterday. I couldn't even look at any of these screens yesterday. Put my glasses on, I get a worse headache. Take my glasses off, it get worse. So one thing I'm trying to do is clean this shithole up. You can see I got a backpack dumped out on the floor there. There's a backpack dumped out in that chair. My ring making station is literally just heaped with crap. And my desk is pretty bad. But importantly, I had 2 mail calls show up while I was on vacation, and one showed up right before I went on vacation. And I kind of covered some of that in a live when I was testing that computer out, but I wanted to do a proper mail call so I could give these guys the respect that they need. And then I'm going to cut this video short at that point. And then I think I'm going to go live again and just clean my studio live. If you guys want to hang out, we'll hang out. I'll throw a link up. You can come up here with me. But I want to get this tidied up right away. So let's get right to it. I got a really awesome mail call for you. A really sad mail call. Sad for me anyway. And then another one that was just plain cool. We'll start with the just plain cool one. And here, let me... where's my buttons? Can I have my buttons back, please? We'll turn this on and you can see what I'm doing here. So this is from Steven Stark. And I think he won some stuff from me. I'm pretty sure he won some stuff from me. And then so he was sending back a thank you and some stickers. So Says, thank you, brother, for your friendship and support. I really enjoy hanging out with the Red Dirt Nation. You guys are awesome. Here's some stickers for you, James, Travis, Nick, and Reg. I already sent Stacy a sticker. So I got some Steven Stark single-handed jewelry stickers. How's this best? This way? That way? Yeah, just like that. And if you notice, there's only 4 stickers in here. I don't know who's not getting one. I already sent stuff to Travis, so it's going to be a while before I send anything to Canada again. I don't even know what Nick's new address is. James, I still got a bag of stuff for James because he didn't bring me my bag of stuff. So I was going to let him take his, but he left in a hurry when we got back from vacation. So I think I'm going to make a special trip down to Madison, see him, give him his bag, and get the bag that he's got for me that we won. And I will throw one of these stickers in for James from Steven. But one of the other ones I'm sending tomorrow. It's downstairs all taped up and ready to go. I sent a bunch of stickers to Lord Shadow to go on the sticker board for his Share the Love sticker board. And since I was making that yesterday or earlier today, I made that. And I just threw one of Steven's stickers in there too. So Steven, you'll have one of your stickers on Lord Shadow's sticker board, long enough for him to sign the board and then give that to some lucky person. And I sent all the Red Dirt Nation stickers, my stickers, James stickers. There's a few other ones in there. And I did put that in a regular envelope, just like this one, a thank you envelope. But what I did after that was I wrapped the whole envelope in clear packaging tape this way and this way. And then I real nicely trimmed off the excess. And the reason why I did that, and these envelopes, when they get fat in the middle, and the stickers probably isn't a big deal. But all of us are doing poker chips now, and I know Stacy sent out a Red Dirt Nation poker chip, and it didn't make it to its destination. And the reason why is when you're putting them in these things, and they go through.
Hello, Moto.
Super Dave Vanderwall's calling me. Dave, I'm live on YouTube. What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
How's my little buddy Lucas doing?
Lucas is doing good. We only got to see him for. No, I'm home again.
Oh, okay.
We brought the worst weather ever to Arizona, and we got snowed on and rained on the whole time. We only got to hang out with Lucas for one day, and it was a great day. We had fun, but
that's good.
He put a little video out of us all hanging out, and then I'm working on mine.
Yeah, I'm not even watching his videos when he's down there. I don't enjoy it because they're not his normal videos, so I'm not even watching them.
I enjoy.
When he comes back up here, I watch him.
I enjoyed it because I was going there to see him, and I wanted to know what I was up against when I got there, and I'd never been there before.
Well,
so.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit different and weird in how I choose what videos. I'd do the same thing if Jason went away on vacation.
I hear you.
To do that. But the one videos that I am watching still.
Yeah.
And it's because he doesn't do, straight up gold shows, is your buddy that you went down there with, Mr. Jameson.
James, he's
He comes out with some of the stupidest goddamn videos. You have no choice but to laugh at him and like him.
Oh, you should spend a week with him. It's great.
No thanks.
He's one of my good friends now. I really, really like James, and spending a week in a van and in tents and in camp with someone doesn't always work out well, but.
He seems like a decent person. I've talked to him on the phone a few times. He seems like a real great person.
He is.
And his videos are just out of this world. And he don't even do gold videos. That's why I like him.
He does do gold videos.
I'm sick and tired of looking at his gold videos.
He does gold videos. He just never posts them, it seems like. Because I was watching him make gold videos. You can see him in my videos making gold videos, but
Yeah. But I mean, it's to each his own. He's got, plus the fact he's just a naturally funny person.
He is very fun to hang out with, for sure. We had a lot of good times.
That's not the reason I'm calling you.
The
reason I'm calling you is wholesale prices on gasoline are up a quarter right now. I fully expect that to be double by tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
So you might want to go out and gas up tonight.
Yeah, we were discussing that at coffee yesterday morning, how the price jumped 30 some cents in town in a couple hours on Friday.
Oh, they're just gouging because the price only just went up.
Yeah.
About 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But everybody knew, if you're in that industry, everyone knew the prices were going up. But
yeah.
Crude oil is up today, opened $8 up.
Yeah, I've got a load of scrap on my trailer I got to make a 2-hour journey with, and I think my truck needs gas. And
yeah, so you might want to fuel up now while you can, because I'm thinking by Friday, gasoline's going to be $1 higher.
Yeah, that's holy cow. Jason just sent me $50 live on YouTube.
Excellent.
Yeah, what the heck, Jason? Thank you, sir. You are the best. You are absolutely the best.
Wow. So they can hear me talking to you?
I got you live on speakerphone, so yeah, you are say hi to Jason.
Hi Jason, how you doing?
Yeah. Wow, Jason, that's awesome.
All right.
Well,
let me get off of this and I'll catch you live on there.
Yeah, I was I'm just doing a quick mail call. Well, a little bit longer than quick mail call, but this is great. This is just like a mail call. I haven't talked with you in a while, so
okay.
I will be catching up with you very soon, sir.
Yeah, a couple people from out there want to come here. You've talked. I seen you talk with him on Circle, Mr. Vargo.
Oh yeah, Todd. Yep.
Yeah, he wants to come out here. I talked with him this week.
Awesome.
He said one of these days he wants to try and do some hard rock, and I said, well, you're more than likely to come out here anytime you want. I said I had Carl Madley out here, and just go down in the ground and jackhammer rock and find some stuff.
Just know that you could be having the best winter ever, and when the Wisconsin guys show up, you're going to have the worst week of weather you've seen all winter long. So
bring it. Well, bring it, because you know what? We've had nothing but summer weather out here.
Yeah, I know. Everywhere we've gone, it's been nothing but summer weather until we get there.
It's been my whole winter out here was 50 degrees and sunny. 1 week, the next week it's down into the 30s. The following week, 50 degrees and sunny. The next week, down into the 30s. Yep. I mean, it's been like that the whole damn winter. And it goes from 30s to 50s.
Yeah,
I think my coldest day out here so far this winter was only about 25 or 26.
Yeah, no, we've had freaking cold here, but all right, Dave. Good hearing from you. I will get back with you real soon here.
Okay, I will talk to you later.
Yeah, bye-bye. Well, how cool was that? Not as cool as Jason. Jesus, buddy. Thank you. Thank you again so much. I forgot what I was even doing. We were talking about mail, and we were talking about sending freaking poker chips through the mail. And so what happens is these things, they all go through this automatic machine now, right? And it must squeeze the blazes out of these envelopes when they go through. And when and they must turn a corner or something. Mm-hmm. But when you put a poker chip in these, this is what happens. Yes, Donna's wrecking the surprise. So I want a poker chip and a sticker pack from Mr. Ed Marvin. Flash in your pan. Ed, you're in chat. This is your mail call, buddy. And Ed didn't tape it up. Someone did write non-machinable on it, but the machine apparently didn't read that before it machined it. So I have the one and only, I promise you, the one and only Ed Flash in Your Pan poker chip puzzle. And it's all here, but you kind of gotta like move it all around until it looks like it's supposed to look like. And guys, I do plan on fixing this because I glue rings together and stuff. But yeah, this is my flash in your pan poker chip puzzle, courtesy of the United States Postal Service. And apparently I failed at puzzle school. Let's try this again. All right, that's looking better. There we go. So there's my cool, one of a kind Ed Flash in Your Pan poker chip puzzle. And there was supposed to be some stickers in here. I got one sticker, and it's the Dina Little Hell sticker. I thought I saw Dina was in here for a minute, maybe not. So I don't know what other stickers are supposed to be in there, Ed. But yeah, you're gonna have to tape them together better, and maybe put them in a bubble pack. I think from now on, when I send any poker chips, I'm gonna put them in a bubble pack because I don't think they run the bubbles through the machine. Or yeah. So and Ed does say, "Hey Carl, congrats on the sticker pack win. May you always have a flash in your pan, Ed." And I thank you so much, Ed. I am going to glue this together, and it's going to end up with the rest of my poker chips wherever they are, which that's going to come after this because I have gotten so many stickers and poker chips. My wall behind me has got to be worked on. Yeah, I'm going to have to glue it just like the poker chip. And then this one here, like I said, if you guys watched me working on the computer before I left, you might have already seen this. But this was from the DetectaBull from Australia. And I don't have the original envelope anymore, or I do, but I don't have it right here in front of me. It smelled funny when I got it, like Australian dirt. It was weird. But he sent me a bunch of DetectaBull little stickers, and then he sent me these really cool vintage. This is the Victorian Seekers Club Incorporated, Seek But Don't Destroy, and it's a bunch of guys with metal detectors. And this was from 1984, and this would have been like on the windshield of your car, I suppose. And there's actually two of those, the Prospectors and Miners Association from Victoria. I'm really honored to have these because these are old, right? And then I got a Rock and Ore sticker. And again, Australian Golden Opals, rockandore.com. And how cool is that one? I got an Oswash Sluices stickers. Australian, quality Australian made, gold recovery systems, www.oswashsluices.com.au. And then this one's really cool. The Surfing Prospector, Crouch. This is finding relics and coins in the yard, saving history. And it's crouchrw@gmail.com, and then an Australian phone number there. Again, I'm pretty sure this is a vintage sticker. This sticker for sure is old. It's really rough around the edges. You can see it's been around a minute. And then he sent me this Welcome Stranger lapel pin, and it's a replica of the Welcome Stranger. And then the little picture of it says the Welcome Stranger, found at Malleabuel, 18 kilometers north of Denali, by Deason and Oates on the 5th February 1869. It weighed 2,332 troy ounces. It's the largest gold nugget found anywhere in the world to this day. And that is a replica tie-tack lapel pin of the Welcome Stranger. That's pretty freaking cool. And what else do we got here? We've got lest we forget, a $10. This is an Australian light armored vehicle, the ASLAV from the 2nd Cavalry Regiment. It patrols the dusty streets of Baghdad, providing protection to Australian diplomats and members of the Australian Defence Force during the reconstruction phase in Iraq. And there is what it looks like. And the pin has a neat image of a soldier with a dog, and I thought that was pretty cool as well. He sent me a whole bunch of these little DetectaBull stickers, and then he sent me money. I like money. This is an Australian penny. No, wait. Yeah, an Australian penny. It's got a kangaroo on it and everything. Dave! Had to beat Jason by a penny. Man, I love you guys. What the heck? Welcome back, I guess. Thank you guys. Jeez. Anyhow, an Australian penny. It says some stuff on here that I can't really read real well. Queen Elizabeth. I think it says regulated or Regina. I don't know. It's got tarnish on it, so it's hard for me to read with the glare. And then there is another Australian something from 1925. I think it says it's a shilling or so many shillings. 2 shillings. 1 florin, 2 shillings. And then it's got a picture of MC Hammer on the back. No, I have no idea what that is on the back there. It's definitely circulated. And then here is another Australian shilling from 1952. And it almost looks like an American dime on this side, but it's not. And it says, again, hard to read with the glare, Georgia V, I'm sure it's some kind of Australian Latin something. I don't know. You stackers know more about this stuff than me. I am super, super happy to have these vintage Australian stickers. These particular ones, I'm going to put away in the archive. I'm not going to put them up on my wall. And is DetectaBull in here? Oh, yes, he is in here. Thank you so much, DetectaBull. So, guys, this is what I'm going to do. I want everybody on here to send me some stickers, and I'm going to make a package and send it back to DetectaBull. Why are you in the hospital, DetectaBull? I don't like hearing that. Hopefully you're waiting room for somebody else and everything is all good, like someone's having a baby or something. It's not always bad reasons to be at the hospital. But anyhow, I would really, really like, oh, the silver coins are sterling silver? Awesome. Awesome, awesome. I definitely will cherish these, buddy. I will cherish these. And that's where I was saying, I made copies with my color copier, and this is sticker paper. And I have some that I cut out already somewhere. Oh, right here. So I'm going to make these stickers available to you guys. I think I'll do my first when I do my next channel member giveaway. I'm gonna offer these in a sticker pack on my channel member giveaway. So they're not the originals, but they're brand new vintage. And I threw a 406 Miner sticker in there too, just because I had room on the sheet. And then so this is not the original from 1994 or 84, I mean, but it is a copy that I just made, and it looks pretty legit. And I got the rock and ore. So I'm going to have these available on my next channel member giveaway with some of the other prizes I give away, and I have no idea what that is yet because I'm not there. But if anybody wants to get me an email, I'll give you my address, send me your stickers. I'm going to put together a package and mail it right back to Australia for DetectaBull so he can have all of our stickers as well. But since I'm sending him a package of stickers, why don't you guys send me some too that I can send to him. So let's get rid of that camera now. Donna's up here. Everybody say hi. Let me take a minute. Michelle, I see you're in chat. Hi, Michelle. I got to use my bucket. I loved it. It's really heavy when you fill it up, but not so heavy with dry dirt like it would have been around here. Modern Michigan, how you doing, buddy? I even used some of your creek chop when I was with Lucas at, because I set up a wet recirculating system, and I threw some creek drop in. So when I was panning, my Arizona Gold wasn't floating all over the place. And you gave me a bottle of creek drop right before I left, and I took that and I gave it to Lucas because the bottle that I bought from you is still pretty full. So Lucas has got a bottle of creek drop to play with now. And Mandy Brown, how you doing? Michelle, Jason E. Minor. Who else? Dorothy, how you doing? Dorothy says hi, Donna. I think that's everybody. Gosh, Dave and Jason, you made my freaking day just amazing. So definitely with the two of them, I'll actually get my first payment from YouTube now as a monetized channel because I think it's 100 or 150 bucks. I was close, but you got to get over that much before they send you your check. So that'll be a neat mail call. My first payment from YouTube. Suppose they're going to want some tax info from me next, but I think I have all that done already. So that's pretty sweet. Steven Stark, I see you're in chat. Hello, buddy. I got your mail right there. Wait, this camera again right there. I got your stickers. Steven, I sent one of your stickers to Lord Shadow. It'll go on the Share the Love board. So if you haven't sent Lord Shadow a sticker, I got you covered. What else? D3, how you doing, buddy? We'll do arts and crafts later with Ed's puzzle piece here. It does have stuff on the backside too. I don't know if I can get it to flip over or not. Let's try. Oh yeah, it's got Ed. The 2 thumbs up and a lot of cracks. So yeah. When I sent, and Dave, we got to get you a wrench. Add as a moderator, standard moderator, save. There we go. What was I going to say? Oh, when you're sending poker chips or any fat in the middle, skinny on the end packages, you should make sure you're taping them with packaging tape. And I don't know if you guys saw the big envelope I sent to Travis. Had a bag of pay dirt in it. Everybody says pay dirt gets harassed by customs. You got to tell them it's fish tank gravel. So I changed my logo where at the top it says Carl Madley Prospecting Adventures. I had it say Carl Madley Custom Aquarium Gravel Beta Blend. And then instead of a gold pan, I was holding a gold fish bowl with a beta fish in it. And I mean, that sticker was this big and it went on the whole front. There was the customs label and the rest of it was my channel sticker, my fake channel sticker. And I don't know, it was like 7 or 8 days later, Travis was doing a mail call. So apparently that's all you got to do to get pay dirt to Canada is tell them it's fish tank aquarium gravel. And I did in the little customs description, I put it under gravels. I checked the right box. I mean, I didn't lie. I just lied on what it was and didn't say it was a gold pay dirt bag. Rocky Mountain Brad. Brad will tell you, I was supposed to meet up with him. He drove all the way from Utah down to Arizona. And unfortunately, I was here most of the time. And he was way up here in Utah. And then he went down here and I was over here. And we missed each other. And then when we were leaving, we were going over here. So we just didn't go back down by Brad. We missed the big club dig for the Roadrunners. But we also missed a lot of the bullshit weather because where we were at, it was much nicer. You didn't have to go far in Arizona to get away from the snow and ice. But if you wanted to see snow and ice, you just had to be where we were because we found it for sure. We definitely missed each other, but it's still, I had a great trip. My first video is up. That Bill Walters, that guy, oh my gosh, guys, it was so much fun hanging out with him. And the other guy, I think Jim was his name. Um, it was nice BSing with him. He introduced me to Bill, and then he was on a mission. He was on his last day. He was trying to finish his hole up, and I just got my hole started, and then we woke up to all that snow and ice the next day. Got out of our tents, just got in the van. All of us were not happy at all, and we drove to the gas station, got our gas station breakfast, set in the GPS coordinates for where I was supposed to meet Lucas and Cowboy Jim. Drove the 2 hours, got down there, grabbed my other phone off the charger, and there was a message 2 hours ago from Lucas that said, Jim canceled. We're going to have to do something another day. And I was like, oh, well, we're already down here. And so it was also 20 some degrees warmer
Something, yeah.
when we got there. We didn't have to drive far at all to get away from the snow and ice, but and the further we drove, the better it got. So we wandered through the desert with metal detectors and just explored, talked to a couple other guys. We were right by someone that had some claimed stuff by some unclaimed land, and then we didn't want to be on the claim, of course. Um, but then that guy was like, "Oh no, his claim goes up this way. So over here, you guys are fine." And so we went and played over there. Didn't really find nothing. We found a lot of neat rocks and stuff that might have had gold in it, but we didn't have a dry washer and we didn't really have enough water. Although that puddle Zach was playing in, if I'd have looked right away, I would have probably set up a recirculator there. There was at least 30 gallons of water in that little hole, and we could have ran for a while. But so yeah, we made the best of it. My day two video is actually uploaded to YouTube. I have it private right now. I don't know. I don't want to stretch out these 6 or 7 videos I've got made over 6 or 7 weeks. So I don't. I'm thinking like Wednesday maybe I'll let day two go, and we'll do hopefully 2 videos a week like that. I'm gonna try to keep them into that 30-minute range, and then maybe when it's all said and done, I'll make one like 2 hour video and throw it up there, just highlighting the whole trip. But yeah, I did end up with a high banker. It wasn't a dredge. It was just a high banker. Oh, you ended up with a high banker dredge. Well, that's awesome. Um, I had my high banker that I've been building for a while now. I finished it up before we left, and I found a spot where I was told it was okay to use. And we had some issues with the rocks wanting to slide off before they were clean, and I really needed to drill some more holes in my sprayer bar. Oh, geez, Brad just sent me his high banker dredge, and yeah, that is. Come on, focus. You can do it. That is awesome, Brad, for sure. Fire up the other camera. That'll make it come up better. A Am I still here? Yeah, I got a buddy printing me the nozzle for uh, a small dredge. It's just an inch and a half nozzle, 3D printing. So um, he's waiting for a part for his 3D printer. Something that holds the filament broke, and he's got it ordered. And so I'm hoping to have that pretty quick here. And not that I really need a dredge because I'm in Wisconsin and we can't use them, but I'll find somewhere to use it. And Brad says his dredge is a Martin. So awesome, Brad. Um, but yeah, so my high banker, we it stood strong. The legs were fine. That was the problem I was having before. So the new legs I made worked great. It ran and flowed okay, but it wasn't washing all the rocks before they were falling off. And I ended up, because it was tapered like this, I just cut a stick and put it at the bottom. And then I could shovel rocks in, and they would slide down and hit that stick, and they would sit there and get washed until I pushed them up, pulled the stick out, and wiped them away, which made the rocks came out perfectly clean. And where my cool hole was at, I was actually able to get in there and pick dirt out, scoop it with my hands into a gold pan, and then just turn around on my knees and dump it into the high banker. And I did that for quite a while. Now, here's the thing, guys. I washed some of it back, but not really well. I still haven't done a cleanup. I have all the gold, all the concentrates from my entire Arizona trip is in a bucket out in my garage. And part of what I'm going to do tonight and tomorrow is get this room whipped into shape because we're live with the Red Dirt Nation tomorrow night. We don't have a guest. We're just doing a hangout. We do have a guest. Lord Shadow is going to be on, and he's going to be painting while we're live, and he's going to do the painting that's going to get added to his Share the Love giveaway live with the Red Dirt Nation tomorrow night. I don't know if Lord Shadow's in here or not, but we were texting earlier today, and that's the plan. So you'll get to see Lord Shadow make his painting that he's going to give away live with us tomorrow night. And while he's doing that, I'm going to be hopefully running my cons from my entire Arizona trip because all my cons just got dumped into one bucket. And I will then tomorrow night know how much gold I got. I know every time I ran a pan of gold, I saw the best gold pans I had ever seen. I found without a doubt the biggest piece of gold that I've ever found. When I was with Lucas on the Roadrunner claim, I had just gone off kind of rock hounding and wandering. I had I had a 5-gallon bucket, my classifier, and I had my pick. And I had my phone, my camera was up getting rained on. I didn't pull my phone up because it was getting rained on. I was dodging raindrops. But someone had dug a hole down by the bedrock, and I crawled into their hole, and I picked all around on the one side, and I dug a bunch of rocks out, and I pulled a bunch of that dirt out, threw it in the bucket, classified it, took it up by Lucas, and panned it in my little tote full of water I had, and found, again, one of the nicest pans of dirt I've ever ended up with, from basically a 3/4, not even of a 5-gallon bucket. And then I said to Lucas, like, obviously, I don't get to go work that anymore. And do you want me to show you where I found that? And he says, yes, I would like that very much. So I took Lucas down to show him that hole, and Lucas was actually filming. But the only thing I went down with the second time was my little vacuum that I just bought and my pick. And I went down and I picked and dug and got out and got into the bedrock as best as I could. Wasn't fully sure at that point that it was bedrock, and then I vacuumed it all off where you could actually see it. It was absolutely bedrock. And then we went up and dumped the vacuum and panned all that out, and that was where I found that big piece. I don't have any video of that whatsoever. Lucas was shooting video, luckily, and it's in the last video, I think the last one that he posted, with all of us getting rained on. And you can see that big piece that I found in my pan. So it was great. It was really fun. Anytime you get to go hang out with Lucas, it's great. And he knew enough about that claim that the whole thing had been worked with bucket lines and bulldozers and whatnot. And then they ran all the dirt up conveyors through big dry washers, and then they left these huge tailings piles. And now the road runners are going through all those tailings piles with their dry washers. And then, of course, where I found that bedrock and that hole down in the wash, those bucket lines aren't very efficient. If you've ever watched them, they're freaking huge for one. And it's not like an excavator where they're getting in and they're putting teeth down and digging. They're just literally dragging like a backwards station wagon size bucket across, and it fills up with dirt, and then they pick it up and dump it out. So there's a lot of gold left if you can get down to that bedrock. So that's where we got down, and we were picking away underneath the bedrock and vacuuming out the cracks. And so I would highly recommend, if you get to Arizona and you can find bedrock, just like I was day one when they dammed off. If you were listening to Bill Walters, he was kind of hard to hear him, but from where we were standing in that video all the way across to the red truck, he said they dammed it off to there. And they went through with the dredge, and then they blew all the rocks up on shore. And that big rock pile that we were digging in, especially where he was, I got down to it once and then I caved my hole in and was starting over. But where he was at, he was down to that original virgin ground that they never worked. They just covered it up. And that's where those pictures in the phone, that first picture that he showed me, said was from 5 buckets out of that hole. And that was that Jim that dug that. And then it was that Jim that had been up the creek that found that 21-gram nugget. He said he found that 7 or 8 feet down, 16 inches above the bedrock. He was in his hole digging and he felt something hit him in the thigh. And he reached down and that 21-gram nugget was laying on his thigh. So that's a quick summary of the first few days. The next few videos of our trip, we get into Oatman. We did some sightseeing, played with the donkeys, toured Oatman, and then the one day we went up to that fish bowl and checked out the fish, and then we hiked, I don't know, probably 2,000, 3,000 feet up the hill, and then we walked several miles back, and then we came down the hill in a different spot and walked the road back to the truck. And I ended up with, I broke the strap of my backpack. I had so many pieces of fire agate and thunder eggs in my backpack. So those videos are coming. They're going to be great. But
I forgot about that.
have Carl give you my number, Rocky Mountain Brad. Michelle, do I actually have your number? But I will. Michelle, if you want to send me a message with your contact info, if I don't already have your number, either way, send me a text if I have your number, or send me a message with your contact info. Holy cow, Brad sent me another picture with his total. 2 grams. 2 grams in the old Terry cup there. I'm not going to switch cameras again. You guys know what gold looks like, and that's 2 grams of it. Oh, there we go. There it got cleared. And that was from what, a day, Brad? I don't know. And Flower Gold Wizard. Jason E. Glad. Oh boy, I've been flapping my lips and I haven't been reading chat. I am so far behind. Yeah, Michelle, you nailed it with my bucket. I had no idea what to do on the backside, and this surprised me with the Red Dirt Nation logo. It was just awesome, and it looks neat. People really liked it. I was showing it off out there, and I was a little afraid to use it at first because I didn't want to get it all dirty, but you'll make me a new one if I wreck it, right? So, oh, you sent me your number on Circle. Okay. Oh, that's your trip total, Brad. So I'll get into the Circle and I'll get Michelle's number and I will send it right over to you, Brad. There is a new message. There we go. Oops. There we go. All right, so I have Michelle's info now. If any of you guys are looking for a cool bucket. And oops. Brad, I have this coming to you just like that. Oh, that's got to be it. It's just not showing. Yep, there it is. It looked blank because it's almost all white. But there you go, Brad. You got it. And Murph Diver says, hello, Carl and Donna. Hello, Murph Diver. So I originally planned to end this live as soon as I got done with the mail call because I wanted to make sure it was a short video so that Ed, Steven, and DetectaBull could see it, but they've already seen it. So at this point, I don't care how long we go for. I wanted a short video that was easy for those guys to watch. But at this point, we've been on 45 minutes now. I've taken phone calls. I've gotten huge donations from two wonderful, wonderful sugar daddies. And yeah, we'll just stay here and keep talking until you guys all decide you've had enough and you don't want to do it no more. Um, Dave's heading to Oregon. We came home from Arizona. We drove through Colorado. As soon as we crossed into Colorado, the sun went down, and then we drove north from the southern border all the way up to Denver, and then diagonally across to was it Nebraska, the next state? I was sleeping for all that. I don't remember, but we did all of it in the dark. So I asked Jason, or not, I asked James and Zach. I said, "So how was Denver?" They said dark. They did see 3 different herds of elk. They didn't believe me when I said, "Okay, you guys can drive now," because they were trying to sleep, and I was trying not to hit an elk, and I slammed on the brakes so fucking hard. I can't believe those guys aren't still stuck in between the seats. But I don't know what I missed the elk by 10 feet, if that, and it was big. And then when it went down into the ditch, there was 20. And then we rolled forward, I don't know, a couple 100 feet, and there's 20 more. And we rolled forward a couple 100 feet, and there's 20 or 30 more. And they weren't seeing them because they were in the back of the van. And so I told those guys, I said, first of all, for whatever reason in Colorado, they don't mark their 90-degree corners. But they do conveniently put a 60-mile-an-hour speed limit sign right before a 90-degree corner. So you think you're good. Like, oh, what was the speed limit again? Oh, it's 60. And then you hit a 90-degree corner. And I told them that. I said, these are poorly marked corners. You're going to want to take it easy. And then I've almost hit a deer. I've almost hit an elk. So you're really going to want to watch out for that. And I guess I had my headphones on. I might have been sleeping, but Donna heard those guys a couple hours later saying, they weren't kidding. These roads are marked like shit, and there are animals everywhere. So we got really lucky. We rented that van. It got 15 to 16 miles per gallon with us and all of our stuff the whole trip. Never missed a beat, never had a problem with it. We did catch one little rock to the windshield that put the tiniest little thumbnail chip in the windshield that I did not tell Enterprise about. They can fix their own damn rock chips. But we were worried about that, blowing the windshield out, and we were worried about obviously wrecking it. We saw some younger kids in one of those 1-800 RV rents. we were almost to the Grand Canyon, and there's an RV parked on the side of the road. I was like, I wonder what these guys are doing. Why they didn't find somewhere better than that to pull off? And then I looked on the other side of the road, and there was a dead elk. And then we get up to the front of this brand new rents RV, and the whole grill and the headlight and the hood, the fender, it was folded. It was leaking. Their vacation was over. And that was our biggest fear. Yeah, they don't mark their 90-degree corners, Michelle. But our biggest fear of the whole trip was wrecking that van. Not that, I've got a $500 deductible on my insurance, and we called our insurance. It would have all been covered. We had let our insurance company know, and they knew what we were doing it with, where we were going. And James's insurance covered when he was driving. And so we were covered if we wrecked it, but we still would have been stuck in the middle of nowhere with a 1-ton van full of gear, no way to get home if we wrecked it. So we managed to get lucky. Maybe there was a little bit of skill. We were really surprised when we got the van to find out it was all-wheel drive. And we used every bit of that all-wheel drive several times, cruising across the desert. Climbing up out of that first spot where I was digging was a pretty severe climb. Well, we had to drive across the creek too, but pretty severe uphill climb with lots of boulders and ruts. One spot I had to give it 2 or 3 tries. was trying to crawl through stuff rather than bounce the van, and I had to bounce the van a couple times to get out. Um, and then when Lucas left us at the Roadrunner claim, we were packing up. It had been raining all day, and they say in Arizona when it rains all day, the biggest problem is that wet clay. And I mean, when I say it rained all day in Wisconsin, I mean like an inch and a half of rain. It rained all day in Arizona, maybe a half inch, maybe a quarter plus. Not a lot of rain. But when we went to leave, it was straight pig snot. The road was greased. And we're trying to get out of this huge spot full of gold claims on really poor roads, and the van's sliding all over the place. And it was like you couldn't walk without getting an inch taller because the mud would build up on your shoes. And yeah, so we had the van pretty well covered in mud. And me and Donna took it to the car wash and spent $10 on it before we took it back to Enterprise. Had it looking, I didn't scrub it. I just hosed it off so it didn't have like mud caked all over it, but I didn't want to look like we tried to make it clean. But it looked pretty good. And then we brought it back to the house, and we went through and vacuumed it all out, and we got some of our detailing stuff out, and we detailed it pretty good. Like, I won't say it was ready to be rented again on the inside, but they didn't need much. Maybe just a better vacuuming and another quick wipe down, and it was ready to rent. So we didn't want to leave it extra dirty, and it's a huge van, so I really pity the person that's got to clean that every time. But then it was snowing while we were doing that detail, and then we had to drive 30 miles down the interstate to get it back to the rental place, and it was the worst the van looked on the whole trip. By the time I pulled into their parking lot, the whole thing had shit all the way up the sides. The windows were all dirty. Yeah, it was miserable. I told him, I was like, yeah, we just washed us some Black River for you. We sprayed it all off. It looked great. And the girl come in just chuckling. She's like, yeah, we'll have to wash it again. I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're going to need to wash it again. But yes, the rental van, Murph, that was definitely the way to go. None of us really have vehicles that are up for a trip like that. 4,400 miles from when we picked it up to when we dropped it off. And I'm not saying my van or my truck won't go 4,400 miles, but I'm not saying it will either. It would probably need a little maintenance in between. And James, Zach, all of us, we all drive, just everyday crap vehicles. So, and then 4,400 miles with the amount of gear that we had, there's just no way we were going to make it. So, the rental van was definitely the way to go. There was a Mercedes Sprinter there when we picked up the Ford, and I asked about the Sprinter because it was 4 feet longer, and they said they weren't sure if they could rent it, and they waited and they looked it up, and they're like, well, we didn't get an answer yet. We'll just send you out with the Ford. And we really would have liked having that extra 4 feet of van, but I also don't know that the Sprinter would have done what that all-wheel drive van did. So it worked out. And $1,100 for 10 days, can't go wrong. It was 25 cents a mile basically for what we did for the 4,400 miles and $1,100 plus fuel. And like I said, we got 15 miles to the gallon. Most of the places we put gas in was between $2.50 and $3. So I don't think overall between the van and gas cost more than $1,800. And we had to get 2 extra hotels from what we planned for. Otherwise, the rest of our camping was all free. So the trip was really reasonable. And to do it with the 4 people, I mean, it would have cost me and Donna the same amount of money if we went by ourselves. And yeah, it was just better with the extra 2 people for sure. We were able to split the costs, and then when we needed to get a hotel, it wasn't such a big deal. And other than the one hotel we stayed at, James, the worst crack house I've ever been in. Like, and I've been in some bad, I lived in some straight up crack hotels when I lived in Seattle, and this one was worse than any of them. Needles out in the parking lot. When we got to our room, the window to the room was wide open to where I opened the door and turned the light on, and then I walked in with my gun like the police. Didn't know someone was hiding underneath the bed or what. The room smelled like smoke, so we're assuming that when they cleaned it, it smelled like smoke, so they left the window open. Of course, it's 30 degrees outside, and so it's 30 degrees in the room. And it was so bad, the bedspreads were gross. We never even peeled them back. Well, I did the next morning before we left, just because I was making sure they'd made them damn beds. But we went out and got our bedding from camp, and we laid a big king size blanket over the whole bed, and then we put our blankets on top of that and our pillows, and we didn't use any of their stuff. And
It was so gross. You couldn't shower there.
yeah, and Donna wouldn't use the shower. Um, we kind of just took sponge baths in the sink because we weren't getting naked in the bathroom. Just wasn't happening. And you can see James's bathroom was actually worse than ours if you look at his Facebook stories. But they put like some cardboard paneling on the wall around his shower, and then like there was holes where they drilled for the shower curtain rod, and then that got ripped down, so they drilled more holes, and then that got ripped down, and they moved it over and put it back up, and then between the panels they used carpet strips, just screwed them to the wall. So there was nothing waterproof about the shower at all. I could only imagine the mold growing behind it. Um, yeah, I would highly not recommend ever staying at that hotel unless you're looking for a great adventure. Donna saw 2 drug deals first thing in the morning. I went to get my morning coffee at the front desk, um, in my pajamas with my 9mm in my pocket, which the pajamas didn't have a string, so that was fun. My gun kept trying to pull my pants down. Um,
The dude peeking in the window
Oh,
overnight.
yeah, we left the window open just enough where we could see out, and someone stopped and looked in the window. Donna was awake when it happened and seen him, and then he seen her seeing him, and he took off. We're thinking that's the same group of people that knocked on James and Zach's door looking for drugs. Oh, I thought you were my guy.
And they went to the hotel room next to us.
Yeah, then they went in the room next to us.
And that was where the drug deal went down the next morning. I was like, oh, that dude just
Yeah, so we got to see some of the not so great parts of Arizona as well, but it was cheap. I think that hotel was more expensive than the last one.
Yeah.
And the last one was huge, like freaking huge. It had 2 stories, and it was like horseshoe shaped, and then there was another wing, and then it was really nice. But I suppose because it was so big, they didn't do a continental breakfast there, which kind of sucked. So there was coffee. That was about it. It was shit coffee. They had a espresso machine, so Donna got a French vanilla. She was happy with that, but it was nice. It was a nice, clean hotel. The rooms were really nice. They were warm when we got there. The beds were clean and made. I think we even took showers. Yeah, we did.
I even took a bath without scrubbing the tub first.
Oh yeah. So it was fun. It was great fun. I highly recommend it to anybody. Definitely would like to check Colorado out some more. We drove right through Fairplay, and I was just like, "There's gold in Fairplay. I know there is. I've seen it on TV." It was dark. We had to drive right through. We were really hoping that when we hit Colorado, we could hop out somewhere and pan some dirt, maybe run the sluice for a minute, so I could say I found gold in another state. But that didn't happen, we did find a spot right when we crossed the line, and there was a river, and it had a really nice rock bar, and we've been sitting on the car for hours, so I really was like, let's go rock hound and check it out. But I pulled up the Onyx quick, and we were on some reservation where it basically said no public access,
'Cause we
which I
couldn't-
don't get. We're on the road. That's public access. Why can't I walk down on the river? We probably could have, but we decided not to, just to play it safe. So
we couldn't get to Four Corners either.
yeah, we couldn't get to Four Corners because that's on the Navajo reservation and they close at 5 o'clock. So we were going to drive in and do the twister thing where you put one hand in each state, but we were late for that. And the day before, if you're going to the Grand Canyon and you look up the East Rim and the West Rim and the North Rim, it's obvious that the North Rim's on the other side of the Grand Canyon, so you're going to have to drive either to the Hoover Dam or to wherever on the other side where you can get across and back over. And then I think I found out that it's not even open, the North Rim, in the wintertime because of snow. We didn't go, obviously, but they told us at the dinosaur place that you can't get there in the wintertime because of the snow. But we looked up the East Rim to the West Rim. If you Google it right now, it'll tell you it's 111 miles. What they don't tell you is you need to be able to fly to do it in 111 miles. And it's actually 260 miles from the East Rim to the West Rim. So our plan when we left Oatman was to drive to the East Rim and explore that in the day. And then we were going to drive to the West Rim at night, get a hotel room, and then we could explore the West Rim the next day as we worked our way towards home. And we drove all the way to the East Rim to find out that they were closed and we couldn't get in to see the Grand Canyon, and it's all fenced off because it's on the reservation. And then I was like, well, whatever, guys, we tried. And then I turned around in the parking lot and pulled up the GPS and got another kick in the nards when I found out that it was 4.5 hour drive to the West Rim to get to where I planned on staying in a hotel. And we ended up driving 3 of those hours and got a hotel. That was the big one I told you that was really nice and the cheapest one of the week. I want to say like $60 for the night. It was a really nice room. The only bad part about that was their pool closed 15 minutes after we got there, so we couldn't go in the pool. And the next morning I got up at 6 o'clock to go jump in the hot tub quick, and it didn't open until 9. So we didn't get any pool, we didn't get any continental breakfast, and their coffee sucked. But the rooms were great, and I don't even remember where it was. But yeah, so when you're doing trip research, don't just Google how far it is from A to B. Actually tell it to give you the driving directions, because it was 1.5 times more miles than it was if you had wings. So that was probably one of the worst things, other than getting snowed on and 21 degrees. That's probably one of the worst things of the trip that happened, was driving to the East Rim just to find out that we couldn't see it, and then turning around and driving all the way back down, which is hours, and then still had the hours to drive to get back up to the West Rim. So yeah, that's what we knew. That's what we know. And I see there's 3 of you left listening to me ramble. So at this point, I think it's a great time to wrap up. Like I said, guys, I've got to get this room whipped into shape. We're live with the Red Dirt Nation tomorrow night, and I need somewhere to pan some pay dirt out. And now that my mail call's done, I can work on up here. Let's just go ahead and turn this camera back on. That I'm going to redo this sticker wall, tighten everything up, because I've got like another 50 stickers to put up there. And everything else around me's got to get straightened up before tomorrow. So I thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you for watching, and and checking out my channel. Like, share, subscribe, all that happy jazz. Thank you, Jason and Dave, so much for the super chats. Love you guys. Definitely didn't have to do that. I appreciate it more than you could ever possibly imagine. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys all on the next one. Have a great night. Not the RDN outro. No outro. Goodbye.